offended to eat. Throw a pair. Just take it and move on. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Vicky, good to see you. Do you have PJ Cruikshank?
Oh, good. That's still flat and Jesus still loves us.
Hey, man. Michael Kahn, what's up, Peter Dragon? How you guys doing? And we are live, I think. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Tonight's going to be a very triggersome stream for some people. We've already been having some triggered numpties like Sean Hawkins coming in.
You know, Flatzoid, both you and Dave are just
Get out of my pocket!
you are too much of a coward.
And Craig, FTFE, the Fallacy King.
You stupid woman.
That's going to be an interesting one tonight. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Glad you could make it. We got PJ Cruikshank and Michael Kahn in. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Oh, good man. I love that intro now. It's brilliant. It's like watching the soaps that I actually like. Good man.
But yeah. It's definitely a well-deserved thing. Jamie did an awesome job.
He did. I only just noticed that Vicky's shooting spanners, shooting wrenches at Sean.
Only now.
I only just noticed
Wow.
that.
How did you miss that bit?
No, I didn't know. I thought it was. I didn't see that. I did see like one start off, but I didn't see that it was shooting them. I just thought she had one in her hand as being a mod. I didn't realize she was shooting them. Funny.
But it's good to see everybody in the house. I'm just going to say hi to everybody in the chat quickly. Vicky, good to see you. Allen Nolan, what's up, man? Professor Harvester, always glad to have you in. Ryan S., hey. Glad to have you in. Obviously, we've got PJ and we got Michael as well. Good to see you guys. Who else did I see in there? I saw someone else. Sea Lightning, great to have you in. Yeah, my camera is unfortunately in my way now because my children decided to break my stand for my
Camera.
webcam totally. Now I've got it on a different stand and it's too high. So if I put it in front here, I can't see how I have to share screen and see anybody. So I have to put it on the side and it's inside part of the chat. So it's like it's there, but it's in the way. What's up, Matt? Good to see you.
You've got to show Alan. Alan, that's who you look like when you were training.
Hey, what's up,
Proper
B?
did look like Ramsey.
The old rabbit.
But yeah, if you guys missed it, Allen Nolan placed out a great video today. It was funny. It was epic. I did share it. It is in my community page where he was training for the fight with Sean Hawkins. It was just a little funny thing, but it was great. And then I see Biblical Theology just popped in as well. Good to see you too. Glad you could make it. Okay. So when I was looking what we can... Sorry?
I would have said, how's it going, Matt?
Hey, man.
Oh, Matt.
All
What are you doing, dude?
Happy Sunday, people.
It's good to see you, man. You are surely missed when you're not here.
Yeah, it's been a little hectic around here, but we're going to make it. We got no choice.
It's good. So has everybody got their bags packed for the rapture tomorrow?
No, you don't need any bags, do you? Your clothes lie on the ground and you get taken away.
They're still pushing it as like, guys, it's this day, it's D-Day. No,
Nobody knows.
Read your Bibles, please, guys.
We're going to take a trip up to our land. I'm down here in Texas, and hopefully we'll get like 97%, if it's not overcast, of the eclipse.
Michael sent us a link earlier where they say that the path has changed.
I saw that, man. So I might get 100%. Who knows?
Isn't that mental?
So what does that say about the glow prediction then?
They can't predict it, can they?
I was having a look to see like whether we'd be able to see out like, and I doubt it from where I am at all. Like, but it's at sunset anyway. So
Yeah. Hey, Gio, and hey, who was else? Gary, if he could see you. Yeah, I don't get to see any of those things really in South Africa. So I think from when I was born, I've seen one eclipse. Yeah,
Really?
that was it.
Wow. Seen a couple. Good few.
we had one back in when were it PJ 2000 something like that, and it went
2017.
total up here. Either,
2017 was the last one, I think. But I remember in the 80s we had a big one when I was a kid. That was really good. It kind of did go a bit dark as well. That's the first full one I ever seen, I think.
So I hope you guys are ready for tonight.
Oh, where have you been?
Because this is, I don't know if you know Pastor Allen Nolan.
No.
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I haven't answered yet.
He's from, what's this church? Cornerstone Fellowship. They got 217K subscribers.
Oh, I've had a Cornerstone.
They got quite
I've had
a
a
lot.
Cornerstone Fellowship.
Yeah.
There could be plenty of Cornerstone Fellowships. It's a common name because Jesus being the cornerstone.
It's got 104,000 views 9 months ago, so it's quite a popular video. In the creation account found in Genesis 1, the Bible talks about God creating a firmament. What is that exactly? In the short clip from Genesis Bible Study, Pastor Allen Nolan breaks down what the firmament is and how God separated the waters from the waters. That sounds very promising. Promising. And one thing we do know, the Globies don't like talking about the firmament. They just avoid it. Hey, Gary Whitebanger, good to see you, man. So, yeah.
You know, to be fair, it's not just the Globies who don't like talking about it. The Christians don't like talking about it either. You can do a study on Genesis 1 and you'll just skip day 2 altogether.
They don't really want to talk about it. But there's a lot of things they don't want to talk about. I mean, I don't know, Matt, if you saw that discussion I had with Ozin last night.
Maybe parts of it, Flatoy.
Well, there was a Dr. Joe, whatever. He's got his doctorate in theology or something, and he came on also to chat for a bit. He ended up, I think he was only there for like 5 to 10 minutes. He ended up leaving anyway. I think it was more like they thought they got a God catch you to see if I actually know the Bible or not. And at the end of the day, all his argument was it has to be allegorical because he's talking about Daniel. And the more Daniel is a prophetic book, the language in Daniel is prophecy. When the language in Moses, the Genesis, is not prophetic, it's historical narrative.
It's an account because
God
told Moses, write down our created.
Exactly. That's exactly my argument for all the globe-believing Christians. If God spoke face to face with Moses and God cannot lie, he's truthful, wouldn't he correct Moses in saying, listen here, this is not how the earth is portrayed?
Absolutely. Especially if he was trying to teach the Israelites who had just come out of Egypt, you know, who they were and where they came from. That would be the perfect time to explain to them where it was that they came from, their origin or Genesis story.
Exactly. And that's why Moses did it, because that's what God gave him to account for. I mean,
and also in God's great wisdom, maybe he foresaw that Satan would be pushing a fake creation.
Could be. Hey Tony, good to see you, man. And Eric H, what's up? But yeah, that's practically it. And then all that really. But yeah, guys, watch it. The sound was bad, so I did re-upload it now with the sound fixed. If you guys want to hear it properly, because now you can hear me properly, and it's a bit more balanced out. So definitely worth it. Listen if you are interested to listen about biblical cosmology. Excuse me.
Yeah, I have to go back to that, Flats. I think I got in just in time to hear you say, okay, y'all have a good evening. Good night.
To the end. But yeah, it was a good chat. I enjoyed it though. Okay. I think we can start the video. You guys ready? It's only 5 minutes long though. And I think he's Gonna tell us what the firmament is. But before we do that, guys, what is the firmament actually?
Bended sheets of metal.
Firmament.
Hammer it out. It's
Well, we do
firm.
know it's something solid, though. That's what
Yeah.
the Bible says. It
Yeah.
doesn't specifically say what it's made out of, though.
Right. It's just that
No.
word, rakia.
Rakia is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think rakia means it's solid. It's firm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be interesting. But I'd like to see how he tells us what the firmament is.
On the first day, God said, "Let there be light," and there was.
Ooh, it's good.
Theologians refer to that as creation by fiat. Fiat is a Latin word that means to command or to order. So God ordered the light to appear, and it did. And then God separated the light from darkness. He called the light day, and he called the darkness night.
Here,
Wow.
here.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. So good so far.
That is good.
I'm like,
What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. And
ready, sir? I'm like,
Dixie and Godzilla 37. Good to see you, man. Glad you could make it. So yeah, that's a brilliant start. Got no issues with that. Maybe this might just go through quickly and we just agree with him with everything he says.
Be nice.
I don't know if that's a good
But
idea. Is it?
I don't know. Is this Pastor Allen a flat earther though? Don't know. Well, let's hear him.
Which tells us that the earth began to rotate on its axis on the.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what
Did
did you
it?
say?
Did it now?
No.
Did it?
What did we just hear?
Yes,
Wait,
on
wait,
the-
wait. Did I hear correctly?
Yeah, you did.
What?
On the first day,
That was the first.
says the world turned on its axis.
That was the first
Nice.
day, and then he says that. Wait, wait.
God separated the light from darkness.
Yes.
He called the light day, and he called the darkness night.
Yes, yeah.
Which tells us that the earth began to rotate on its axis on the very first day.
No.
No, it doesn't. It tells you that the sun was for the daytime and
No,
the
no, no, the
moon
sun
was for
wasn't
the
even there.
nighttime.
The
Yeah,
sun was
sun-
not even there.
Oh no,
yet.
sorry.
No,
This
what?
is just
Day
the first
one.
evening, first night. Sorry,
This is day
it's
one.
just separating the days from evening and night.
Yeah,
Day,
that's it.
morning, day and night.
It's duality
Wow.
making day and night.
How can you have a orbit if there's nothing to orbit around?
Leader.
Straight into a presupposition.
Man,
You know what I mean? There was
he started off so well.
day and night that day, so the earth spun.
He started off so good though. Hey, Aaron,
He
good to see you,
did.
man.
Yeah, Aaron has a good point. Why does it not get hotter as we rise if the sun is inside our enclosed system? Okay, that's a good question. But you got to
Because there's less
realize it doesn't necessarily get hotter because of it has a lot to do with a lot of things, but
Yeah, conduction. There's less air up there. So it can't radiate through the not air there.
What it's sun, like it's not.
Yeah, what
a,
is it actually?
Not a burning ball of fire, is it? So
yeah, it's not. It's a point of light that's being beamed in from outside the dome, obviously.
What? But anyway, while we're on the sun anyway, we're supposed to be talking about the first day. The first day was light. He separated the light from the darkness. He said, "Let there be light." There was light. He said that was good, and that was the first day, morning and evening. There was no sun.
You know, when he
mentioned
says
there.
it was good, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, there was no movement of Earth. Heck, Earth was not even formed yet. How the hell do you get
It wasn't-
rotation of Earth without having a sun, first of all? And there's no formation of Earth. God didn't even let the Earth get formed yet. It's still formless without void. What the? What? This is embarrassing.
It's terrible eisegesis is what it is. He's reading his own biases into the text.
Yeah, definitely. It's that embarrassing. It got me confused for a second. I was thinking about sun and moon rather than light and dark. You know what I mean? That's terrible. He started off so well, like you
But
said.
that hit me
That's
like-
how it goes, and then straight into a presupposition about something that it doesn't say at all in
Yeah.
Genesis.
It hit me like this. I was like thinking, yeah, this guy's actually doing something awesome. And then he opens his mouth in the next sentence, and therefore the Earth's rotating. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's like you're just waiting for him to stick his foot in his mouth, right?
Man, that's insane. Yeah, guys, it's good to see you all. Please hit the like, share the show. It really, really does help the show, guys. Okay. Well, at least we know we're not just going to agree with him for the 5 minutes long. So that's
Well,
that's good.
it took 26 seconds.
Okay. Now I'm scared to go on. If that's what he thinks night and day means, I don't want to know how is he going to explain the firmament.
A 5-minute video could turn into a six-parter.
Yeah.
In this,
Okay, this.
going to this
And
page.
for good reason.
On the second day,
Sorry? Okay, he's moving to the second
I
day.
said, and for good reason.
Yeah. What was happened on the second day, guys?
And God created the firmament to divide the waters above the firmament from the waters below the firmament. And it was so.
Yes. I mean,
And
meaning two
that
halves.
would consist of a physical barrier, correct?
Yes.
And does the globe have a physical barrier?
No. They have
Well, they don't claim they want.
And as far as I know, the globe also doesn't have waters above
No.
and waters
Well, that would
below.
be different. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That means gravity was pushing away the water and pulling in all the other stuff. That's weird.
NASA's lying. They are swimming in water, guys.
Well, they have snorkels, don't they? So you never know.
Yeah, explain why they need snorkels in their spacesuits, guys.
Because they drown in space in a vacuum.
day, God
Maybe.
created an atmosphere that was able to sustain life. Now,
Oh.
most people get
No.
Did he not?
No. that's not what
Evaporated the
Bible
water.
says.
Give me a break.
That's not what the Bible says. Let's go to Genesis 2. What the?
It says nothing about atmosphere at all. It doesn't even say anything about atmo.
But wouldn't it have said Atmos circle?
How? Created the atmosphere. No. Something is heavily off what this guy's talking about. I'm gonna have to
Do you think that they know that they're preaching the wrong thing? Do you think that their mind is confused, or do you think they do this deliberately? Because I'm really curious about that. I've always wondered, like, do they not know that they're teaching the wrong thing, or do they really
I think
believe
some
it?
of them do. Some of them do. In the beginning,
That's scary. You know that's terrifying to think that your
Can I
pastor
just
pretends to be such what he is, and then he doesn't.
Can I just say to unfussy board games, when you tried to come in the other night and you couldn't come in, someone else had that trouble.
Yes.
All they did was go to another browser and they managed to come and restream unfussy. So just so you know, if you try another browser, it might work.
Yeah, but it's good to see you on Fussy. Yeah, if you want to try coming,
Yeah, I went through the element.
Maybe try through Chrome, because Jeff struggled until he went through Chrome and it worked. What's up, Jeff? Yeah, I said good to see you too. So anyway, let's quickly go through day one, which you just totally, I don't know, the guy, what the hell? In the beginning,
I just learned.
God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. So formless and empty. Like we said, how do you have a formless and empty? Nothing moving around.
Well, you started out with water.
That's not there yet.
Yeah, excesses. I've seen that. He says there are videos on YouTube of sprites firing upwards from electrically charged clouds, then hits a solid barrier and lights up the dome. Has anyone? Yeah, I've seen that. Excessive.
And the
That's
sun does it
awesome.
too.
I
Every
can
year.
remember seeing it on TV way before I even
Long time ago.
got into
Yeah.
Flat Earth.
Yeah, that's ages
But
ago. That's actually-
Flat Earth Brothers, they've got it on their channel.
Yeah, FEB's got a lot of good videos. You guys should check him out.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
learned
this
a
is
lot from those guys.
And it says darkness was over the face of the deep, over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness.
Meaning he tested
God,
it.
yeah, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Oh, and by the way, God made
Or
the
the
earth.
sun and the moon.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think the first thing is
And
the
there's still
first
no
thing it's
earth yet. There's
mentioned
still no
about
dirt.
air.
Remember, he said it was void, so it was still water. Then.
That's Ryan. The first time I think anything about air is mentioned is when he breathes the breath of life into Adam. I think that's the first thing it's mentioned about air
Mm.
of any kind of sort, I think.
Yeah. But I don't see where he gets Earth rotating from that.
No.
It's impossible. Okay.
Probably from that script that he's reading from.
Yeah.
And then this is part day 2, and God said, let there be a vault. Vault is very important. Between the waters to separate water from water. And God made the vault and separated the water underneath the vault from the water above it, and it was so. And God called the vault sky. And there was evening, and there was the morning, the second day. So I'm interested to see what he's going to say based on this.
He didn't even read the verse.
He didn't.
can't
He
wait.
just said
Yeah, he skipped
atmosphere.
over
So did anybody see atmosphere there?
No.
Those words aren't in there. Right?
And this is a New International Version. NIV is okay, I guess.
You'll not find the words he's just used in any translation.
No, in any translation. Yeah, let's just maybe see what he says, because maybe he has a point to this. Maybe he's got some kind of etymology word we don't know about. I don't know.
I doubt it.
No, he's just
Confused when they read this.
Yeah.
He's just beholden to his bank. You know, he's got to preach a certain message so that his loan won't default.
Yeah.
Maybe we should pray for him to pay his loan off so that way he can go back to being normal.
Very first day. On the second day, God created an atmosphere that was able to sustain life.
No.
Now, most people get
Wait, hold on,
confused
stop.
when they read this part.
Where did it say that? Can somebody read
That's what
the part of the chapter that says?
But as I said, we just read it. It doesn't say that.
Doesn't.
He says he
Doesn't
created the
give you all
vault.
the dynamics and logistics.
Yeah, it said
It's bullet points, basically.
Yeah, he created rakia. He created a vault. He created the firmament. It's a physical separation to separate the waters from above to the waters below. Not atmosphere. Remember, there was no life on earth yet. There wasn't even ground yet. There was no earth.
Yeah.
There was no seeds.
Don't
There
need to
was no
breathe yet.
plants. There was no nothing. It was
Exactly.
just water.
Don't need to breathe yet. God didn't need to breathe. You know what I mean? So nobody had to
God
breathe it
lives
yet,
in
guys.
water, obviously. So does that make any sense?
And I did tag the guy, the church. Hopefully they see this and they decide to correct this, whatever they're trying to push you. Or maybe the guy.
Please don't hold your breath, Keith. Just don't hold your breath, okay, buddy?
But why do we always get this part kind of people? I don't get it.
Because
Me neither.
the way that it's worded, we don't talk like that. And so we kind of get jumbled up as we're reading this passage of Scripture. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it very simple for you tonight. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this passage of Scripture. But as I'm reading it, I'm going to substitute the word space for the word firmament.
What?
Charlatan, liar, and
Space isn't even in there. Substitute the word space.
Wow.
Space is not even in the word in the Bible.
If I was there, I would have got up there and slapped.
What? I think there's a word for this. I think it's called heresy, isn't it?
Blasphemy, heresy. Yeah.
He's making up his own scripture.
He's definitely making me choose between him and Moses, and I think I'm going to side with Moses.
Me too.
On the
Wow.
side of God.
Can anybody show me any translation that shows space?
I mean,
God created space.
at this point,
Well, that
I'd
may
have
be-
switched him off.
I think if I was in this
Yeah,
guy's church, that's when I would have stood up and said, excuse me, my Bible doesn't say this.
Allen Nolan. Wow.
Wow.
It's such a slippery slope, though, dude. If you can change the foundations of the Bible, which is Genesis. Genesis is the foundation on which all other truth rests. If you can change the foundations of Genesis, you can change the rest of the Bible.
And that's probably what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Reinterpreting it. Remember,
But
it
I
says
mean-
in the Bible, do not listen to men. Men are liars. Listen to God.
Yep. That's why I say I'd rather call man a liar than God. But notice how he's just, like you said, his Bible's not even open. He's just got notes on his desk, on his pulpit there. So,
No doubt.
You sure he doesn't have a green screen he's reading from?
it's like does his congregation not have their own Bible open and saying, "Listen, here, Pastor, what you're saying, it doesn't stand in this Bible."
Where's this guy located? Is it somewhere in the United States? Or
Yeah, it's obviously United States. Because
I was
it's
just curious. Maybe.
Cornerstone Fellowship Church. Wherever they are, I have no idea. Let's see. Is there anything more about
Morning.
Morning. What is there about? There we
Good
go.
day to you.
Welcome to Cornerstone Fellowship with Pastor Allen Nolan, YouTube channel. It's all about Jesus. And on our channel, you'll learn about the Bible, faith, and practical Christian living from Pastor Allen, biblically based sermons. Well,
Remember, it
sorry
says
to
based,
break it
not-
to you, he hasn't been doing biblically based Genesis right now.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Not even
No,
close.
not close to all. Apart from his
how
first couple
obvious
of
it is?
sentences.
See how obvious it is to us? But you know how other people don't see it. It's just so weird.
Mm.
You've got a website as well. That's quite cool.
If I was in church on Sunday and he preached, he came out and said that, I would say something. I'd stand up and say, "That's not
That's
what the
false,
Bible says,
exactly.
dude."
Yeah, I'd wait till after the sermon was over, but I would definitely ask him questions.
Oh well, yeah, of course. I wouldn't embarrass him, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'd have to tell.
they have podcasts as well.
But putting your hand up and asking a question is not acceptable.
Well, not during the sermon. I would think it was rude, but I'm not saying if he asked if anybody had questions, I'd say it. But I don't think I'd want to ruin his sermon. I'd want to wait till after so that way I could say what I needed to say to him.
Yeah, but if he's teaching something, it's not
Just
right.
teaching falsehood
Maybe
to a
it's best not going
congregation,
there.
I'd be straight telling him, no matter whether it were start, end, middle. You know, I won't be
Oh,
able to
trust
keep
me, I
moving.
would feel compelled to do it, but I don't know that I would. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
I do know what you're saying, yeah, because I'd be in two minds. I think.
I'd have to tie myself to the seat, but you know, I think I would still try to wait so that I could get him alone.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, you see the problem with this though is
Yeah.
he can get away with it because his congregation are probably heliocentrists. They don't even
They're
think
brainwashed.
about it. Yeah, it's when you're so indoctrinated into something and you don't think it literally just goes over your head, so you just think, it's a normal word, space.
Most of them are probably just Sunday Christians. You know, just go to church on a Sunday, but through the week,
Or they
it's just
or
normal.
they only
It's normal.
use their religion
Secular life.
to make them look.
Secular life, yeah.
Or like Hyten says, a lot of people might know it's bullshit, but they won't stand up.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just
that's
weird.
right as well. Absolutely.
But
I agree with that.
you should say something. Even if you wait till after, you need to say something about it.
Sure. Okay. What a start. 55 seconds in, and I already think the guy is a false teacher.
You know, this is why in 8 years I've not yet
No.
found a church.
Me neither.
It's hard.
I
It
must
is
say,
hard.
the
I had to
church
start my
I am
own.
in, the pastor is actually very awesome. I do enjoy the church here. But obviously, he's a glow believer, and I mean, we don't agree on that, but
Did you ask him about
It's
it
hard
yet?
to
Or
find.
no?
no, I haven't.
You're not going to find a church that's got absolutely everything right anyway.
Yeah,
You know, like I said about talking in tongues, you get churches like that people who don't believe in tongues go to churches like that
Yeah.
because there's no other choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and LJ, thank you very much for your $2 for your chat. React to Dubai's new short. I actually want to do a personal video on that. I did
Oh
see it
no!
today.
What did he do? Is he dressed? Is he in a
did what
dress
he did
again?
He did what he did again. To the all supreme creator. Is this what you would create? If you're such a loving God, why would you have death coming into?
Why is everybody so angry about that? What is up with that?
Who said that?
So, yeah, I definitely want to do a personal video on that. Thank you very much.
Free will would not exist without evil people. You got to realize that we'd all be robots without evil. So we have to. It's necessary.
No. God, this is even what I said to Ozan last night. God is a good God. He didn't create death. That came from the fall of man. Sin is what causes death. From sin comes death.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not God who created it. I don't understand why people don't get this. God did not. It's not in his nature.
Initially, I think we're meant to live forever. That's what it garden in paradise. They were already in Garden Eden. They were already in paradise. It was meant to live forever. It was not like Flat says until sin came into the mix.
You know what? I just thought of
the
something.
wages of sin is death.
What if we were already in paradise? Because isn't wait a minute? But isn't paradise a copy of the world so that we wouldn't know we were dead? Isn't that what it is? That's what it says in Job, right?
No.
I thought it said that. No, there's a story in the Bible where it says that a rich man lived in a house and there was a poor man that begged on his step and he asked for just the crumbs from the table and the guy kicked him off the porch. And when they both died, he says the rich man was in hell and he was looking up and he could see the poor man in paradise.
You know what I think we should do? Let's go through this video because it's only 5 minutes long. We might get through it quite quickly. And if there's time, we go through Dubai's video as well. How's that sound, guys?
All right, cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack.
I think it just means look up to heaven for paradise. I don't mean. I think it meant. Yeah.
I just think Dubai should read his Bible if he wants to try and critique it.
How can you see this world as paradise? That's why I'd ask you, Ryan.
But it does.
I don't. But I'm just saying it does speak of it that you wouldn't know you were dead. That he wasn't aware that he had passed.
No, that's Luke. That's Luke 16.
Okay, my bad. Maybe I'll read it again. Sorry.
But yeah, when it comes, that's a different subject. Let's move on with this. So far he's calling the firmament space, guys. So not a very good start.
Because that's actually a better translation. You see, the word firmament is actually translated from the Hebrew word rakia, and it's what we think of as space.
No.
That's why I'm going to substitute.
No. No.
It's a tent, you moron.
Because he knows the Hebrew for it. Because he knows the Hebrew for it. He thinks nobody else, his congregation ain't going to know. So he's just saying, I'll just put in the proper Hebrew word there and tell him a totally different definition.
I'm going to get up the Strong's
I think it would better be translated as roof, don't you? It's a roof. That's what it is.
There's going to be big issues if he thinks that it means space, because when you look it up, it means something solid, something beaten out. You know what I mean? So how are they getting into this solid, beaten out, like metal?
Space is actually space is the opposite of something solid. It's nothingness. It's the lack of something.
Okay, I've got the Strong's up. This etymology of rakia. Okay.
There you go.
Strong's H 7549. Rakia.
Okay, let's read through what it means. Tell me if you see anything pertaining to space, okay? Extended surface, in brackets, solid, expanse, firmament, expanse, in brackets, flat as base, support. B, firmament, a vault of
Maybe he
heaven
didn't do his vocabulary first.
Yeah, look at it. Firmament, a vault of heaven supporting waters above.
And a vault is what, guys? A safe.
Considered by Hebrews as solid and supporting waters above. Where in the bloody hell does he get space from?
No idea. Like I says, I think his congregation don't know any Hebrew. He knows how to pronounce the word, but he's gave the wrong definition intentionally. He's got to have given that intentionally, because nowhere is that the etymology of the word, the definition. No way.
This is scary.
Sorry, dude, but I'm starting to wonder if this guy has some kind of weird translation Bible that none of us know about.
Yeah, it's called MC Tune Script.
Dude, that's
an imagination.
That's insane.
He's just keeping his beliefs alive, that's all.
He's trying to wiggle heliocentrism in there.
Wow.
Okay, let's go on.
By using rakia, that's
I want to see, because he brought up rakia now. How is he going to put rakia as a solid vault being infinite nothing space. How's he going to tie that together? That's going to be interesting.
It's a complete opposite meaning. Space is like nothingness. A solid vault is something. It's substance.
Okay, let's see.
Complete opposite.
Substitute the word space
None
for
of this stuff
firmament.
about space.
And then as I'm reading this passage, I'm actually going to stop at the end of each verse, and I'm going to illustrate what we just read on this whiteboard. So look at verses 6, 7, and 8, and remember that we're substituting the word space for the word firmament.
No. There is no space. You can't substitute a word that's not there. Firmament is the word in the Bible. Space is not in the Bible.
What about when it says
I need to meet
birds
this guy.
flying? What about when it says birds are flying in the firmament of heaven? Is he going to say birds are
Exactly.
flying in space?
And this is exactly right. And this is exactly what I said to Ozin as well last night, because he asked, "Oh, the birds' heavenly bodies." I said, "No. Remember, in the beginning, God created the heavens. There's more than one heaven."
The only bird I know that flies in space is the Millennium Falcon. It's the only bird I know.
It's interchangeable, isn't it? It's interchangeable. Sky, heaven, firmament, they're all interchangeable.
That's insane.
But when it says the sun, moon, and stars are in the firmament, that means inside it, not actually inside a barrier.
Exactly.
He's probably going to go on to show us how the Genesis account explains molecules to man evolution as well.
We'll see. But I want to know how the hell the guy can say, we're taking the word in the Bible, space, and we're going to exchange it for firmament. No, the word is firmament. There isn't space there. That's a total lie. That's outright deceit. There's no space in the Bible. Dude.
And God said, "Let there be a space in the midst." Now, most of us don't use the word midst. What does that mean?
King James. Okay, let me get King James up. Let's see if that's what stands in the King James. And I'm sure he said he's going to exchange space with firmament, but now he's putting space in there.
That's what he said he were going to do.
No, he said he's going to exchange it from space to firmament.
No, I said he were going to swap firmament for space.
That's not what I heard. Let's quickly go back.
Right.
So look at verses 6, 7. Okay. And then as I'm reading this passage, I'm actually going to stop at the end of each verse, and I'm going to illustrate what we just read on this whiteboard. So look at verses 6, 7, and 8, and remember that we're substituting the word space for the word firmament.
See? Substituting the word space for the word firmament. So he's saying the word is space, and he's going to substitute it for the word firmament. Not it's firmament and substituting it for space.
It's probably misspoken, because what he's showing is he's substituting firmament for space. So it's probably misspoke.
Yeah.
So in other words...
So he's not just substituting a word, he's substituting meaning in a translation, because translated it's not going to work. It's not what it says.
It's not what it says.
So he's substituting more than just a word.
There we go. Let me go share this instead. And God made the firmament and divide the waters which were, and the firmament heaven, and the waters under the heaven. Tell me where space is there, guys. And this is the King James Version.
There's space between the lines of writing. That's about it. Nothing actually written. No.
Dude, this is like, it blows my mind. I probably would have got up and walked out of this guy's church. That's how I feel. I would have felt like this guy's literally being deceptive.
It's interesting because he's willing to let the culture change the Bible, but not let the Bible change the culture.
And that goes against what the Bible stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's carry on.
And God said, "Let there be a space in the midst."
Pause
Now,
it a
most
minute.
of us don't use the word.
Ryan's dropped out and then he's commented and put, "Sorry, I can't sit here and not respond to this shout, and I'm going over and tell him to ask Yahweh for forgiveness." Does he mean he's actually going over to the guy?
Ryan, you know, you could have still done it while you were in. You just could have opened a new tab.
I think he's on his phone. I think he's on his phone. I
Maybe.
think. I'm not sure.
Oh man.
Mm.
Bless you, Ryan. His link.
I hope you're going to his door and not just his channel.
But his link is in the description if you guys want to know. So, wow.
Yeah, actually, what Ryan said, pray for that pastor. He needs it, definitely.
Midst, what does that mean? Middle. And God said, let there be a space in the middle of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you were here last week, and if you weren't, I'm going to catch you up. The earth in the beginning was completely surrounded by water. There were no mountain tops that were peaking up. It was all water. There was no dry land anywhere. It's kind of like that movie Waterworld with Kevin Costner in it. Well, just kind of imagine, except there is no dry land anywhere. Now, I had a
No. There was nothing but water. There wasn't even a sphere. Why is he drawing a sphere? There's a globe Earth.
I know, in the middle of a puddle. What's that about?
What stopped water going into this space?
Wow. Oh, look at this. Yeah, 1 Corinthians. For the corruptible must put in corruption, and his mortal must put in on immortality. The word on paper is mortal body, and the true interpretation is the immortal body. Thank you very much for this. That's a great passage, man. People do deceive, and it is part of the end times as well, guys. Just to let you know, he might even just be deceiving himself. And he's unfortunately taking his congregation with him.
That's the problem, and there'll be a special place for him.
I mean, what's he drawing fried eggs for? That's what he's drawing.
I mean, I know all the time I say to these people, cosmology on the Bible is secondary, you know what I mean? Because it's all about your salvation with Jesus. But when it comes to deceptiveness like this, this is literally taking people and saying God is a liar.
Yeah. Especially if you've got a ministry and you're preaching on it. If you're preaching on it and you're saying and you're preaching the wrong thing, it's yes, it might be secondary. It's nothing to do with salvation, but you're preaching deceit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's not well. It's not.
If you sow seeds on thorny ground, this is exactly what the parable says. Yeah. You're sowing seeds on thorny ground. Are you going to get a tree, a fruitful tree? No,
that thorns will strangle them things up.
So he's literally planting deception in his church now. He's giving false narrative.
Yeah.
Ryan Dunn's only messing about, mate.
Teenager come up to me last week and they said, well, if it was water like that, how did it stay around the earth? And I said, well, it's the same way the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean stays around the earth. There's gravity there.
Wow.
What? There was no earth yet, you twat.
So there's gravity as well now?
Without earth. So in other words, without the mass of earth, there is gravity. Without the sun, the earth can orbit. Notice he also said it orbits around the sun while it's in water. Nothing this guy has brought up it doesn't even follow the heliocentric model.
That's it. You see, Lightning, Mikey is brave for what he does when he goes out with billboards and that. I get it, because he must take some abuse off people. I seen that cop thing the other week as well. The cop, where he was getting hassled from some lady. You know what I mean? Whinging to cops and all that. I seen that. Yeah, I know he is. He's brave. He's brave for what he does.
So you have the earth, and this represents the earth, and all of this blue out here is the water. It was completely covered with water. And then God said, let there be space.
No, it didn't.
And this space was in the middle of the waters. So what happened is there was a space.
Even that's wrong.
that was created in the middle of the waters. Now I'm going to take out a little bit more. Let's do that so you can see. Does that make sense?
No.
And it divided the waters from the waters.
No.
Everyone see?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
No. Divided the waters
This is not
from
where
above.
Occam's razor comes in.
It divided the waters from above and the waters below. He still has the earth covered in water on his little drawing there.
I think you could use Occam's razor here. You know what I mean? What's more likely? That one or the flat earth one?
Wouldn't it be easier?
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't it be easier just to defend what the Bible says instead of like twisting it to make it something else and digging your hole deeper?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be so easier if he just read what the Bible said and said, you know what, this is what it says. Live with it.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with it. Just take what it says. Exactly.
But now you still got waters above your space. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, now he's literally got no earth still, just in water, and then all of a sudden it's like an air bubble, and then there's more water. What? This guy's making up his own cosmology.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
See that? Verse 7. And God made the space and divided the waters which were under the space. See that? From the waters which were above the space, and it was so. And God called the space, this part in here, heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. Now, most scholars believe that the water that was above the space actually turned into a vapor. So literally you had a canopy of water vapor around it. And this canopy actually protected the earth, and it made it very conducive to life.
Canopy of water vapor protected the whole earth.
Sorry,
Nice.
what was it protecting the earth from, guys?
Is this
If
a
the earth wasn't
variation
there
on
yet.
ice canopy?
But
Wow.
listen, if the earth isn't there yet, what's it protecting it from? The earth's not there to be protected yet, and what's it protecting it from? There's only water. At this point, there's literally only water and light. And now a firmament, which is a vault, a physical dome,
Well,
here tent to separate the waters.
yeah. How do you have a space in water without barrier?
This is embarrassing. I didn't think it can get this bad.
So rakia means space, and it also means solid vault, right? And then it also means water canopy.
Yeah.
That's totally clear as mud.
This guy's confused. He's not even keeping to even the heliocentric model. The globe, he's being heretic to the globe even right now.
Yes.
He's literally created his own cosmology here. Yeah, wow. This is insane. And we're only 3 minutes in. Okay.
In fact, that's why so many of the patriarchs before Noah's flood lived for so long. They lived 700, 800, 900 years because you had this vapor around the earth. But I still want you to understand.
So in other words, guys, you want to live longer, climb in a vapor-filled room.
Yep. It's my Michael Jackson. That's why Michael Jackson went into what do you call it, a hyper something tent, concentrated air, and he lived a long time, didn't he?
So guys, get yourself a room and let water vapor circulate in the room, and you'll live hundreds of years longer. Thank you for the advice, Alan, Pastor Alan.
Yeah, and David comments in David's day. David comments on the firmament and how it's strong and supports, and it's still there in his day. So, but David didn't live hundreds of years.
Nope. Wow, this is insane.
At this point, on day 2, the earth is still completely covered with water. Does that make sense? So on the 3rd day, what did God do? God created dry land upon the earth. Now, as I said, the earth in the very beginning was covered with water. There was no dry land.
Yeah, and I created dry land. Let's go to day 3.
Sorry. It was a hyperbaric chamber. That's what I was trying to say. Hyperbaric chamber.
Okay.
And it didn't work for him, did it?
Okay. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the yielding seed, and a fruit tree yielding fruit, after its kind, whose seed in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself, and his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
Still no sun.
Still no sun. Still not having a sphere anywhere.
No.
But it does still require physical barrier to hold the waters away from the waters below.
So what God did was he caused the mountains to rise and the valleys to sink, and the waters drained to the lower parts of the earth.
Not really.
Is that right?
Yeah, but not really. God caused the waters to give way for earth. That's about it.
Yeah.
For dry land to appear.
Look at Psalms chapter 104, verses 5 through 9. It says, you placed the world on its foundation so it would never be moved. You
He literally just did
Wow.
points.
Wow. Oh, dude. Wow. Wow.
Oh, that's funny. He's his own worst.
That is so good. Wow. He lived on its foundations, did he?
Okay.
But it's a sphere.
Okay,
Flopping about in water.
I got a question. What did he say happened in day 1?
He said God created light, and that means we're orbiting and accessing through space.
And what's he reading now on day 3?
That God placed the world on its foundation.
On its foundations.
And
yeah.
it never be moved.
So yeah, exactly. So you get immovable foundations that spin. Weird. It's kind of contradictory, isn't it? Wow.
Dude. Okay.
Crazy.
clothe the earth with floods of water, water that covered even the mountains. No dry land as of yet. At your command, on the third day, I added that part, the water fled at the sound of your thunder. It hurried away. Mountains rose and valleys sank to the levels you decreed.
He's just added stuff to the Bible that wasn't there.
Wow.
You shall not add to Scripture. He just added to Scripture.
Yeah, it's not wiki, you know, it's the Bible.
I got no words. I'm shocked. I thought I've seen it all.
Isn't he just saying what most Christians are probably thinking? Because if you're going to believe in heliocentrism, then you've got to believe that kind of rubbish.
But even based on heliocentrism, that was a heretical. It was literally going against heliocentrism.
Wow. That was
It's finished
You
now,
think
right?
that's mental? But you think that's mental? You might want to listen to what Eric DeBay says.
No, that'll probably
That's it. Finished.
answer more than
Right.
this.
Oh yeah. It's going to trigger. So that we're ending that series with that pastor. If you want to go comment to him, please do go comment on his. It is in the description, and tell him, hey, dude, read the Bible, not make up one.
I feel like making a video on that blooming video. On that. I feel like it, but I don't think I will. It's been covered.
Wow.
But it's a kind of thing you would make a video on. I mean, his understanding of Genesis is ridiculous for a pastor.
It's insane.
It's made up. He can't say Rakia means what he says it meant, space. And that is made up, unless he hasn't checked the definition of it. He's just heard. You know? Because there's no way you can come up with that saying space. It's completely opposite. It's the antithesis of what it actually means. You know what I mean?
But it's crazy.
That's somebody's pastor, dude.
That's somebody's pastor, exactly. And now
That's scary thought.
And now we got a person that a lot of flat earthers look up to, Eric DeBay. And Eric DeBay is trying to questions for the creator. But just listen to the questions. Really think something that amazes me is why do they always sort of try and attack the Christian God? Have you guys realized?
Always. Nobody ever stubs their toe and goes, "Oh, Buddha."
The guys, please hit the like, share the show. You guys are rock.
I was thinking about this. While watching a film, like every time I watch a film, within first 5-10 minutes, Jesus Christ is used as a slur word. Like
even as just normal language when they're just talking normally, but kind of using it as a slur, but just normal, not even being angry, just like Jesus, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just normal language for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've been guilty of it in the past as well, even as a believer, but I'm more aware of it now. You know, I never swear to God or anything like that. I never swear on anybody's lives. Never.
Jupiter's ours. Pisses me off.
Thank you, Roger Radel, for your $2 super chat. He says, confused equals Allen. Not sure what you mean, man. But thank you for the super chat. Okay. Let's listen to
He means Allen. Allen's the name
Oh,
of the pastor.
yeah, the pastor. Yeah, he's very confused then, Roger. That makes sense. Okay, let's carry on with this. Start it. Be prepared, guys, to think, what the hell is wrong with you?
Imagine you were the supreme creator, designing and constructing your own world.
You put him on a bit faster.
With beautiful beaches.
Don't want to imagine I'm the supreme
but it's only a
creator.
7-minute video.
Somebody else did that and got chucked out of heaven. You know, so I don't want to imagine.
But now we have to start over. Thanks, Michael. Okay, let's do this again.
Imagine you the supreme creator, designing and constructing your own world, complete with beautiful beaches, majestic mountains, and wondrous woodlands. Imagine creating and populating your bright new world with a menagerie of cute, cuddly animals and happy, loving people to experience and enjoy your creation. Envision the kind of paradise you could and would create if you were the omnipotent creator. Conjure the blissful emotions you would feel existing in such a heaven of your own creation.
Okay.
And imagine the peace of mind, such a positive...
Yeah, why you have to put that on?
Oh, come on. Throwing up the lotus position with lotus flowers and
but you see, this is where Eric's going wrong. That's the crap he's into.
Yeah. I mean...
First of all, I'm not going to think of myself as a creator at all, okay? Because we aren't. But you're going to see, it's literally just trying to attack. Why is God so loving and he can create death?
Yeah. He's trying to put a natural mind into God and saying, look, this is how God should be thinking. No, would you not do this if you were God? No, you wouldn't know what God would do. You're not God. You're not supernatural. You're a natural being that thinks with a natural mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Positive place could engender in all for eternity. Now, imagine looking down on your perfect paradisical realm and deciding to introduce a variety of new negative situations, systems, and species into the mix. First and foremost being death.
No.
No.
God didn't introduce death. God didn't introduce negativity.
God introduced life.
God is a good God.
That's what he introduced.
Literally, death is opposite of God's character.
Yeah.
Well, when
why do you think Jesus defeated
when God said to Adam, don't eat from this tree or you'll surely die. God can't lie. So when they ate from that tree, they had to die.
They died.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I told them
Sin
not to.
leads to
They had,
yeah,
you know what I mean? They were like, don't eat from this, you'll die.
yeah. Sin leads to
God
death.
created life. So when Jesus died, what happened? He conquered death, came back to life.
Hmm.
God created life, not death.
Exactly. Everything about God is life. So it's just
I'm back.
that. But this is
Calm
why I
down,
say.
Aye, dude.
This is why I say Dubay hasn't read the Bible. He knows nothing about Christianity at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, yet he wants to claim to be this, I don't know, this
Guru.
intelligent philosopher guru, dude.
It sounds more Mormon to me. He
It
imagines
does.
that he could be a god or something. Join the Mormons and become a god one day if that's what you want to do, Eric.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he doesn't believe in Jesus at all, does he? I don't know if he believes in Jesus
Yeah,
at all.
I think he also thinks
Even as a
Jesus is
historical
just
figure.
allegorical as well.
Yeah.
All I can say
Rather
is,
than immortal
wow.
beings that first and foremost being death. Rather than immortal beings that live forever in a perfected state,
God
everything
did.
instead becomes
God did create immortal beings in a perfected state.
Wow.
He did.
He gave him a condition. He gave him
He
a
gave him
condition.
free will.
Yeah, but gave him one condition. Don't eat that crap. If you eat that, then you'll surely die.
Let's put it this way. Would it have been free will if God didn't give that tree of knowledge of good and evil to them and say,
No, it wouldn't. Exactly.
don't eat of it? Would it have been free will?
No.
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 And God didn't create us as robots. He created us as free will. We have the will to, because he wants us to love him out of our own. Then it's because he knows it's not love if you don't love someone out of their own. If you're forced to love them, it's not love.
That's right. Like I always tell people, love is a choice. It's not just an emotion. Like, yeah, you can fall in love with someone, but you've got to love your enemies. You know what I mean? So that's a choice. You can't just fall in love with your enemies. You don't like them. You hate them sometimes. So love is a choice. You have to choose to love someone.
Mm-hmm. Bad start.
becomes subject to entropy. All the beautiful plants, cuddly animals, and happy people you created now become subject to degeneration, suffering, aging, disease, and death. The only way to temporarily avoid the effects of these new negative systems is through the introduction of another: consumption. In order to extend their lives, to escape the pain of disease and deterioration.
9 levels of hell. Mm-hmm.
That's why I said this is specifically an attack on Christianity, guys.
Gosh.
Why is he not attacking Hinduism or Muslim, Islam or
Buddha?
Judaism or what about anything? I mean, why is it always attacking Christianity? Why is that?
It's always Jesus or God, isn't it? It's always to do in the Christian or Abrahamic faiths. Well, Abrahamic faith Christian specifically, obviously. It's always God's name.
I saw a super chat.
Was there a super chat?
Where?
I saw one in there.
No, I can't see what I did. No super chats.
Oh, weird.
Okay.
And to momentarily end the suffering of their insatiable hunger, all living beings in creation must now kill and eat the life out of other living beings simply to survive. The entirety of existence becomes inherently predatory and selfish, where it was once peaceful and compassionate. Next, imagine adding even more horror.
So he thinks
Where do you get all
because
this ideas?
you need something, it's selfish.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously he's never been to the wild before.
No.
Never been to the bush. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, man.
I'm gonna say I once watched one of them BBC filming animals in Africa, and they were filming this cheetah and it were injured and all these hyenas were attacking it, you know what I mean? And I can remember saying to my mum, like, why aren't they stopping it? You know what I mean? And my mum was like, they can't because that's what happens.
Why would
Part
you?
of the nature.
Well, we're only a kid, Ryan, like.
I mean, why would you
nature.
interfere?
You wouldn't, like, but we're only a kid, that's my point.
Yeah, they use that emotional stuff to drag you in and trick you. I know. So,
My point being, like, nasty things happen in nature, Ryan. That's my point.
Yeah.
yeah, of course. I mean,
That's why you
yeah,
have
I
to
mean,
understand. Yeah,
of course.
that's what you have to understand. We live in a sinful world.
Mm.
It's part of
Yes, it's a
sin.
fallen existence.
I agree with
It
Alan.
fell from grace.
Yeah.
I also agree with you, Alan.
I love animals. It tastes so good.
They're tasty. Yeah. They do taste.
This picture it kind of reminds me of Salvador Dali.
Mm-hmm.
His type of
Also,
surrealism.
what one man, one spirit also said: Cain killed Abel, his brother, right out the gate. Exactly. And God said, "I hear your brother's blood crying from the ground.
Yep.
What have you done?"
Yep.
And
What do you think that means, though?
What
I
happened
think
to
it's been
the
interesting.
lineage? And think about it. What happened to the lineage of Cain after that?
Yeah, exactly. Ryan, in fact, it was the first shedding of blood, wasn't it? And God says life is in the blood. So
Right, but I'm saying he's speaking about the magnetic fields that are in your blood, right? Like he can hear it crying out to him. That's weird. It's just
well, you're adding some serious interpretation.
It's not there.
Well, yeah, I know, I am, but you know what I mean, though. Obviously, there's something else there. It's not, you know what I mean? If it's calling out to him, then obviously God has some way of seeing and hearing and feeling everything in the earth. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what
God's supernatural.
He is. He's omniscient, omnipotent.
He was there.
So
he was there.
It's awesome, though. I mean, it's just awesome how much there is there in that little, you know, that little.
Hey, Rob Keane, good to see you, man. But yeah, remember, God. One thing I don't get is people don't understand. Just like because like when Adam and Eve as well, when they sinned, they think God wasn't there. He was there. He's just not going to stop them because he gives them a free will.
Yeah. It would have grieved God
Good point.
to do that.
I have respect for Abel's offering.
Let me try and make this in a type of way I can explain it. If you are standing, let's say you want to steal something, okay? There's no one around. There's a car sitting on the side of the road. You say, "Oh, there's a purse there," and you look around. No one's there. You take it. So
I needed a purse. I really needed one.
Okay, now you've stolen the purse. Now, same situation, but now there's a police officer sitting just around the corner watching you doing it. Are you going to go now and steal the purse? Or are you going to think twice? Or are you going to think twice about doing it?
Well, you are. You've got to think twice, isn't it?
Well, if you live in Los Angeles or New York, it probably would because they don't arrest people for that anymore.
But you see, the point of the thing is, but the point of what I'm trying to say is, you see, when God was walking with them in the garden, this was God's way of showing, listen, I'm giving you your own free will. I'm giving you your own opportunity to make your own decisions. So that's why when he walked with them in the garden and he was away and he says, "Where are you?" and they hide behind he knew they were there. He knew what happened. He was there.
Well, I would say God knew what was going to happen before he created.
Obviously, he knows the future.
He knew Satan were going to turn against him. He knew we were going to trick out. He knows all these things.
And you know what's sad about it? Satan also knows this. And Satan knows his time's up. But that's the whole reason why he's doing what he's doing so bad, because he's trying his best. It's like he knows he's sunk.
What kind of pride? What kind of pride? Do you have to know them things and still think that you can do whatever he's trying to do? It's mental.
Yeah, he's trying to make everybody as much as possible. He's got such a hatred for God's creation. He's got such a jealousy for humans that he wants to bring us down as much as possible with him.
That's
That's
why
how
I
much
don't
he hates
understand. I don't understand a lot of Satanists. I know a lot of Luciferians just think it's an ideology, but a lot of people believe in Satan. Do they think when they go to hell that Satan's got to treat them nicely? You know?
Apparently.
Crazy.
Okay, I see Ryan's propped out again. I wonder if he's having problems with his internet or something. Okay.
Satan loves no
to your
man,
new creation.
whether they worship him or not.
There's no love in him. There's no love in Satan.
Imagine populating it with a variety of blood-sucking, life-destroying parasites like leeches, lice, ticks, and fleas to attach themselves to your cute, cuddly creations, causing them immense pain and suffering as they leech the life from them. Imagine creating cold, calculating carnivores to stalk and slay your innocent.
This is absolutely pathetic.
This is just a vegan rant. This is a vegan rant, this part. Simple.
Were you guys familiar with the first time that the word meat is used in the Bible? It's used to say that the plants were as
Yeah.
The word what? Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
The word
what?
meat.
Oh, meat. Okay.
Yeah,
It was meant for plants originally.
And that shall be
it
meat
says-
for them or something.
Well, we still say the flesh of the fruit, don't we? We still say that, like the skin and the flesh
Yeah.
of the fruit. Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, the world has fallen. I mean, since the first rebellion in the garden, we don't live in a perfect world anymore. And Eric would, I don't know, if he read the Bible like Flat Sword's suggesting, all of this is confusing. Like he's just making his own theology up.
Yeah.
Like this, what gets me is right. You question. You are you created. We're all created. Who are we to question what God does and what doesn't do? You know what I mean? And that I think that's what got Satan where he is. Questioning God, thinking he knows better, thinking he can do better.
Exactly. He thought he can equal himself with God.
It was pride, right? A lot of pride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the point stems down to there's one thing which is the issue with Dubé and his videos in this. He doesn't know what the Bible says. He's never read the Bible. Because if he did, he knows what he's literally presenting to his audience here is a lie. It's a total deception. That's about it.
Yeah.
And it's not like he doesn't know this because people have actually told him what he's pushing is bullshit. It's not what the Bible teaches. But yet he ignores it and just does it anyway. That's what I said. I don't trust Bay with a 10-foot pole.
God does all these things. He's just been accused by Eric DeBay, and then he still comes and dies for us. It don't make sense, does it?
Exactly.
So there's got to be a plan and an order how things have to be to make things right.
Mm-hmm. Roger Little, thank you for $2, which says, does Eric have a dad issue? I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, he's got a Heavenly Father issue. Sure.
He does definitely have an issue with authority figures, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's simple. God didn't create us in a fallen world. He created us perfect and good. Due to sin, we have become in a fallen world, and therefore the wages of sin is death. Not hard to understand.
It's funny, isn't it, how they don't blame Satan, though, It's mad.
No, exactly. He's the...
Yeah. He never gets any blame.
No, it was never
Satan doesn't exist. It's just rubbish. It's mumbo jumbo. But I'm going to blame God.
Story to control you. That's it. It's just a story to keep you under control. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
It's insane.
Defenseless herbivores. Imagine adding a multitude of new natural disasters to constantly concern and kill your creations. From famines and floods, to tornadoes and tsunamis, to devastating earthquakes and volcanic eruptions.
How do I put this?
Oh my goodness.
Sin.
He really hates God.
Yeah, he really hates God.
It's called a natural disaster, not a supernatural disaster.
Wow, he just so hates God. What, like, something must have happened. Something traumatic happened to him.
Of course.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
But that's why when he had that discussion with that other DJ dude,
You know, like yeah, but
it's the
you know
same
when
stuff.
God decided enough for enough, and He wanted to wipe everything off Earth. He flooded the entire Earth. They weren't just like local tsunamis, local floods, local earthquakes. You know what I mean? It did away with the entire thing, barring a few people who decided they were going to
Ima-
spare.
And imagine if God decided, no, and not even you and your family. I'm just going to wipe everything out, full stop. Could have done that too, by the way.
No, he sure could have.
Yeah. Taking back Eden, thank you very much for your two Canadian super chats. I have a lot of Canadians in here, by the way. Shout out to all the Canadians.
Yay.
Still need to follow 10C if Satan was dead. What's 10C though?
I don't know.
10C.
Would you be able,
10
the
Commandments.
10 Commandments. Ah, there we go. PJ, you smart man. Thank you very much. Still need to follow 10 Commandments if Satan was dead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's why I said it's God gives everybody a free will. Even if Satan wasn't a thing, you would still have to have a choice if you're going to do something or not. So I agree. The only reason the 10 Commandments came was because of the fall of man. Because before that, no one would ever wanted to go and murder someone. No one would ever wanted to go and lie. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't have known what it was to do that. It wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been logical to you.
You wouldn't have had a conscience to say, let's just say that.
Well, you wouldn't have eaten.
You wouldn't need it.
You wouldn't have eaten from tree of knowledge of good and bad, so you wouldn't have known good and bad. So that's why it wouldn't have been.
Exactly.
Imagine introducing scarcity, depravity, degeneracy, degradation, pollution, pestilence, and pain into a realm that need not have any such things. Then imagine looking down on those you created, watching them suffering from sickness, dying from diseases, generation upon generation of people pleading on their knees, praying for God to save them from their plight.
This perversion that he's showing on this.
Isn't it terrible? Guy's got a flag stuck at his butthole.
This is depressing.
That's his goal.
Because the guy's literally he's trying to paint God as this evil, maniacal person that loves to see people suffer.
Belligerent, maniacal, psychopathic, homophobic. He gets called as well, homophobic, everything. God's all the things that the devil is, you know. That's what they say.
Wow.
And,
they are praying to the same God who created their plight.
He didn't. Praying to the same God who created their pain. God didn't create pain. Read your damn Bible.
Wow. I love you guys. Much love. Gotta go.
Thanks for coming.
There was no pain. You know what I mean? Before that, but pain. The mention of pain came in after sin. Like your birth pangs will be, your labor pains will be extensive. You know what I mean? The pain didn't come until afterwards.
Remember, every time after we're day 1, day 2, day 3, and God saw that it was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, because God creates good things.
And asking to save them from it. The same God they are praying to for help is the one who caused them to need to pray for help.
Nope.
No, it's not.
The same God that cured their cancer is the one who gave them cancer in the first place.
No, that's also false.
Wow.
Dude, I feel so sorry for you when you stand before God one day. You better ask for forgiveness, mate.
Wow. He's just so lost.
He's very lost.
The only thing that we need to do is to pray for him. We do. We need to pray for his soul. Like, wow.
He does need help. He needs prayer. That's definitely part of it.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. Jeff Goss says pain exists so you don't hurt yourself. Exactly. Like if you get a pain, you know there's something wrong. Go and get it sorted. You know what I mean? It's there to help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you didn't feel pain, you'd be smashed to pieces, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you truly loved and wanted the best for your creations, is this how our world would be set up?
No, because that's not how our world's set up. That's not how. See, and you see what he's portraying Satan as the scapegoat. So he's giving God the blame, and the guy that's actually caused this is the innocent one.
Yep. That's what Luciferians do. That's what I'm saying. That's what the Masons do when they get higher up. Say that the serpent was right in the garden to give us he gave us the option of knowing stuff. So he's the good one. He's the light bearer. You know what I mean? He's the one we should look up to. God was wrong. He shouldn't have held this information from us. That's what they think.
Unfussy Board Games, thank you very much for your £5. Really, really appreciate it. It says Luke 13, 1-5. People ask Jesus why some disasters happened. His response, except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blats, for the show. No, thank you for your super chat, man. I really appreciate the support. You rock. But yeah, that's true.
And I just wanted to say, as far as like that natural disasters thing, they think that it's an actual natural progression of how this realm works, and those things have to happen because there's a balance and an imbalance that has to, our realm fixes itself, right?
Yeah.
And its way of fixing itself will be to cause floods in certain areas, or cause all of these disasters to happen in certain areas to actually counteract what is happening throughout.
Like when we injure ourselves, we get an injury, but there's a wound there, and then there's a scar. You know, like Jeff's saying, it has to play out. It's that way. It's that's kind of system where it fixes itself.
Can I just Taking Back Eden? There's a place in Restream if you want to join.
Yeah. People lack. I was thinking exactly the same, Isaiah. My people lack perish for a lack of knowledge, and this is exactly what's happening with Derek Dubay. And the sad thing is, because of his lack of knowledge on the subject, would it be willfully? I think it is, because he has been told about the subject before. He's being deceptive. He's unfortunately getting all his followers just to take his word for it.
How many followers has Debate got? Like,
wow.
Oh, he's got loads, hasn't he?
He's got a lot.
He's got to be verified, isn't he?
Yeah, he's verified.
Yeah.
Dubay. Eric Dubay, 205,000 subscribers.
He's double verified.
I mean, this video has only been out 7 hours. It's already almost got 6K views.
Wow. I get 6 in an hour.
And I think we must maybe look at the comments afterwards.
What kind of bias, bipolar, spiritual Stockholm syndrome possesses people to see this scenario as sane? Howdy Makowski wrote, "No one is asking who is the director of this force of destiny, and who is the beneficiary of this setup. I have come to see that it is not a benevolent force, as religion, New Age, Advaita, or shamanism all suggest."
So you appeal to someone, atheist, by the way, who also doesn't understand it was the sin of man that caused death, not God that created the death. It's not hard to understand. The reason people aren't taking this seriously is because everybody knows you don't know what you're talking about.
Do you notice how the angel's beard's got 666s in it?
Oh yeah.
All over the place. Big cuddly sixes.
Just because he puts beautiful artwork there doesn't make his argument any good. It's very pathetic, to be honest.
Of course. It is nice artwork, but I don't like what it depicts.
And this is why Dubé will never talk with us, guys, because the guy's never opened a Bible in his life before.
No, I think he probably has opened
What a
it,
malevolent
looked at the first words, and then put it down.
Maybe.
Sorry.
But he's definitely got a hatred for God, though.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't know what God did to him, though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, they
know.
only gave him life. You know, it's not much.
Yeah,
is
only
it?
gave him like it's insane.
Force, like the Cathars and Gnostics suggest. It does not take much to see that a realm full of suffering and anguish would not help a loving creator. It helps a malevolent force. A good way to keep people from seeing this is to present the loving creator as a non-logical answer for why so many terrible things happen. A loving deity makes you suffer to improve you, torture you to make you better.
Also, that's not Christianity at all.
Who's getting tortured? Because I don't consider myself getting tortured.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I'm actually like, my heart hurts for what he may be going through right now, and yeah, just because like you have to remember like all of what he's saying there, and with the combination of the graphics he's displaying, is basically amplifying what he's feeling inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's chaos.
I honestly do think he is demon possessed, guys.
He's definitely influenced.
He's got his demons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's sad to think because a lot of people, they say, oh, demons don't exist. I'm not. You'll be surprised. You are influenced by a demon one way or the other, people.
Tell me demons don't exist when you hear one shouting at you. You know what I mean?
I've seen a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen, but I've heard.
But I mean, even Ozian, he doesn't believe he's he doesn't believe in demons and stuff. So
I've seen them when I've seen preachers preaching on the street.
I've seen like weird things coming across people's faces, like an expression that scares me, you know, and you get that feeling in your spirit that something's wrong. I've had that, but I've never personally like physically seen a demon, but I've definitely had it. I had it say, "You're too late. Go and jump." When I was asking God to come into my life, you know.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Me and my wife have seen the same demons in her parents' house, even together. We can even recall everything and the features. We weren't even together at that time. We can recall the features. Have you seen that? Say yes. I've actually had a demon try and choke me before. So this was like when I was still doing stupid stuff. You know what I mean? But
I've seen people being delivered, and you get some funny smells and funny sounds come from them. You know, I've seen that.
No, there's definitely hectic. I've seen hectic stuff. I mean, I can actually give a testimony. When I was younger, I lent my dad's car to go to youth. It was me and my brother. He was in the seat, and then there was no one in the back seat. And we were driving. I can still see it today. And we're driving around the roundabout, and all of a sudden, I saw a figure in the back seat. In the middle of the back seat, and I froze totally. Then I pressed brakes, and as I pressed brakes, a car came from the other side and ramped over the middle roundabout and just missed us like this.
Wow.
If I didn't hit brakes, they would have sideswiped us, and I can guarantee you would have been dead.
Oh.
Now tell me that's not a miracle. I saw a figure in the back seat. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm thinking about this now. I mean, how do you explain that?
Exactly.
It's insane. Okay, let's carry on.
As Richard Rose would say it, people are given traumatic misfortunes. Then they come to believe those were part of a loving God's plan. Then they pray to the very same God that just traumatized them, asking to end their suffering. If there really was a happy, loving deity in charge of this place, it could, of course, be a much more peaceful experience.
Like?
However, we live in a physical and energetic slaughterhouse. You are living in many ways.
Energetic slaughterhouse.
Oh my god! The fact that you know what's funny is he's saying, oh, when people say it's part of God's plan, yes, we don't know what God's entire plan is because we can't fathom what He sees, because He sees things that's going to happen now. Like, you know, it's like He sees things that happened previously, everything at the same time. And we can't fathom that. We can't even like begin to think of how He thinks, and that's a huge part of the problem.
Yeah. That footstool God's got his feet on looks a little globy.
I just said thank you, taking back Eden for your $2 super chat. It says my close friend knows a girl who was levitating. Yeah, you get that too. People think it's only movies when they watch Exorcist and stuff. No, there's
demons can levitate here without a doubt.
Thank you very much for your super chat. And then Roger Ledwell for $2 who says concave Earth a crazy hates government. Yeah, thank you very much for your super chat. Really appreciate it, Roger. You rock. Yeah, do you actually get concave still? That's a good question. I mean, if we want to talk about supernatural things that have happened, I've got so many things. I mean, when I still did graphic design, me and my wife actually worked for the same boss, and she was clinically dead from cancer. Papers and all, came back to life.
Wow.
Really saw Jesus Alice, came back to life. This clinical papers, was dead for a few days. We had another person that we actually had to pray for, had a stroke and a blood clot shot through the heart, and the guy died. We prayed for him and he came back to life.
Nice.
He was obviously blind after that because of the so much blood loss, and he was in a wheelchair for about a year. Now he's able to see.
It's the thing though, scars of wounds. You know what I mean? Something traumatic happened, he come through it and he's got scars for it.
But you see, and then people say,
for it though, come back to life.
Yeah, and then but you understand what I'm saying? And then people say there's no such thing as God, there's no such thing as prayer. Prayer does nothing. I'm sorry. I've seen it in my life. There's definitely things that happen that science cannot explain because nature is not supernatural.
Yeah, I remember praying and thinking, oh, this is not working, my prayers ain't coming true. God's timing. That prayers I did like years ago, they're coming true just say now. I've had that experience where they come true later on. I'm like, so that's what God was doing. He was teaching me patience.
Yeah. Roger Ledwell, another $2 super chat, says he blames God and government for his life. That's it, yeah. He does. But do you really think he has such a bad life? No, I think it's just because he doesn't eat meat. So he's depressed. Thank you very much for the super chat, Roger. Appreciate it, man. You rock.
Ryan, I think it's perpetual motion, not perpetual. Perpetual.
Yeah, perpetual.
Just to be pedantic, dude.
But yeah, I think if he decides to start eating meat, he might feel a bit more happy, because it has been shown, guys, that vegans are depressed because they're not getting the correct proteins. As soon as they start eating meat, it's an antidepressant.
Yeah, I remember my mate was just in the 90s. He was just a vegetarian, and I went back to Scotland. He come back 10 years later, start talking to him and that. And I asked him if he still was vegetarian. He said, nah, back on the meat. He says, do you remember how depressed I was? I'm like, I do. He says, well, it was because of that. There you go. And that was just vegetarian. He still ate dairy stuff and that at the time.
Yeah, meat does wonders.
I've got to say this because I love yanking Ryan's chain, but it's perpetual, not perpetual.
We just said that.
I already said it to him.
I just wanted to touch on that where Ryan doesn't believe in perpetual motion. It's very like there's I can't remember what his name is, but he made a perpetual motion machine and it just kept on running. And,
is that the one with the ball though? Is that the one with the ball?
The one that Lumpy presented.
No. No,
Is that
here,
right?
just give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to look them up. Right.
Okay.
I was under the impression that they weren't possible. Like,
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, a lot of the things that you need to have to be able to build this, they've been hidden in by the government or whatnot, whatever.
Yeah, because it loses energy. You always have to lose energy thanks to thermodynamics. So therefore, it can't be a infinity loop of energy.
It might not make everybody depressed, this Lord. If you're not depressed with it, that's fine. But it's not going to make everybody depressed, obviously. But
just thinking about being a vegan makes me feel depressed.
And Vicky just turned around and says, "I just tubbed up some chicken fajitas to freeze for PJ." Nice one, babe. I like our chicken fajitas.
Joseph Newman.
Joseph Newman.
They thought he was a big kook and all this stuff, but that guy, he made his machine. He had scientists come and look at it and test it, and it kept on running, and they couldn't figure out why. And it was because
Newman energy machine.
Yeah.
Was a DC motor which, with the inverter, Joseph Newton claimed to produce mechanical power exceeding the electrical power being supplied.
Yeah, so it feeds back into itself, right? So he had to keep running, and it wouldn't stop because it was creating more electrical power than the mechanical was creating more electrical.
That's actually interesting.
Yes, and the thing is, like, what happened is, like, he had this machine. There were people testing it, and he wanted to make it available to everybody. Okay, but people wanted to come in and they wanted it for a certain purpose, and he goes, "No, I want it for this." And they kept on dismissing him, and they wouldn't give him a patent on all of his stuff. They wouldn't let him get his patent.
They wouldn't, of course, they wouldn't.
Yeah, and the other part of it too is he ended up dying penniless, because he was fighting the courts and stuff, and he ended up dying penniless and homeless. But he was actually living with a guy, and he ended up dying. And just before he died, he dismantled his system that he had, dismantled and destroyed it because he didn't want anybody to have it. So it was like he just kind of got angry at everybody because he wanted to share it with everyone and whatnot. But he just they thought he was like a little bit cuckoo. Because, but if you sitting there, you're trying to show people stuff. If you actually watch it, how he progressed, you can actually see him changing because of him being pushed down and
negativity. It changes a person.
Yeah, it totally changed, and it's very sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is from the Washington Post, July 22nd, 1986. So, Joseph Newman device, as government scientists gingerly refer to the contraption, may be the most successful perpetual motion machine ever invented. Not that scientists are convinced it really works, it's just that it has succeeded in getting more attention. Much of it is aspirated from the Commerce Department's Patent and Trademark Office, from scientists at the National Bureau of Standards, from the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia, and from the news media than any such device in recent memory. Newman, a self-taught inventor from Lucedale, Mississippi, I can think, has been battling for nearly 7 years to obtain a patent on his machine. Damn, 7 years. Which he claimed produces more electrical energy than it consumes from a battery pack. The patent office, without testing the device, rejected his... So they didn't even test it.
Yeah, they just rejected it just because they wanted to. And then when he got people to test it and stuff like that, they still rejected it.
And it's because it says it rejected his application on the grounds that the invention claimed ability contradicts the accepted laws of nature, specifically the second law of thermodynamics. But you know what I find really odd? They still push globe that contradicts the first law of thermodynamics and the second law of thermodynamics. But it's fine for that. But a guy that creates an actual apparatus, a machine, oh no, it contradicts natural law, so therefore false.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually really funny. They sat there and they tested this thing. They go, I don't get it. this shouldn't be doing what it's doing. And then he's like, so he goes, yes, it can do what it's doing because he studied and just basically figured out how to do it, right?
How to harness it, yeah. Well, look, I think the key stands here. Newman arguing for invention does not contradict scientific law, but it taps a previously unknown source of energy.
Yeah.
And this can go to what they were saying, like Tesla believed that you can get energy from inside, from the air.
Yeah,
that's right.
So he's figured out how to tap that energy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so funny when someone makes something that you think is defying the laws of physics, but you don't realize what it's actually doing is actually it's pulling in something else that you're not aware of, and you just dismiss it as, no, that can't be real, it must be false, right? And that's like, if you look at those inventors, what happened to Tesla? He died penniless and alone. Same as Newman. All of these great inventors that actually invented things that would better mankind died penniless and alone.
Can I just jump in? Alan Freedom says Mandela effect don't care about your thermodynamic laws. Amen to that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's true, because it's got nothing to do with it. But yeah, that's sad. But this happens a lot. People, you know how much people even just go missing when they make up new kind of technology that the government doesn't like? They just go missing. It's like, what? Why? I'm going to look more into this Newman's.
Yeah.
Newman
no, I looked at it. It's pretty interesting. He has a YouTube channel. If you look up Joseph Newman.
Is there? There's no machine to see it doing what it's supposed to do, though.
That's the thing. That's what I'm going to look more into.
I'll put it. Do you want me to put it in private chat or local?
You can put it both. It doesn't matter. Sure, other people also want to look it up. So.
I want to see it machine. I'm in agreement with Ryan. Like I need to see it machine and that. Like otherwise it's just a tale.
Oh, for sure. Like he actually brought it to like science fairs and brought it to physics fairs and had people test it. He goes, you can go in there, test whatever you want, do all your tests, and allowed him to do that. And still, they wouldn't give him the patent. It's like freaking, that's ridiculous what he went through. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I just, it's heartbreaking to see where he like started out as, and then how he progressed, and just it's almost like they made him go insane and made him look like he was going insane, so that people wouldn't believe what he was doing was real. Right? So.
So he says.
Producing more fire using the stove, the most accurate measuring device in the world. 40 Sciences has already told you this. Now I've mastered it, captured all of it, and that's what runs Big Eureka. In fact, when I take it off of here, watch it slow down. When I take it off, and I'll charge these batteries, and it'll take me about 3 seconds. And this battery voltage will go up from the time I just touch it.
That's quite cool. I have to pause now and then, though, because copyright stuff. But
all these batteries. And they're in parallel, which means they take a lot of current. Now, these diodes take 10 amps and 1,500 volts apiece. And I guarantee you they'll all be warm when I get through. That's 15,000 watts on each one of them. But anyway, watch and see what will happen. Now what I'm going to do, watch when I start disconnecting this.
So he's got it running now.
Yeah.
Is there what inside this thing?
This would just be taking the back charge away.
I'm not sure, but yeah, it's he wouldn't allow people to take his machine apart because he didn't want them to find out how to do it and to make it themselves. He wanted to patent it first, right? Mm-hmm. And then but he wanted to patent it, but he also wanted to be able to share it with everybody. He wanted it to be more he wanted to power people's houses and stuff. This is what he wanted it for. But they wanted to make it for like industrial purposes. He goes, no. He goes, I want it for the people, not for industrial. And that's all they.
That was the issue. That was the issue. They wanted money out of it.
Yeah, of course.
Just money.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why.
Watch it start slowing down.
The battery charge doesn't put up 1500 watts.
12.19.
All right, 12.19. That means all of these batteries have 12.19 volts on them. Now, when I take this back charge from this and hit this for about 3 seconds, that's all, because it'll overload this thing. And after 3 seconds, it starts overloading it. You watch what it'll do. Turn the voltmeter off. I don't want this thing to hit me, so I have to be careful when I do this.
Does look scary. To be honest.
Yeah, it is kind of scary because he's got it all patched together like that. And
yeah.
Positive will hit me. All right, now I've got that loose. Watch it slow down. I'm gonna hit.
Gonna just check it now. Jeff Gas says easy to fake.
Yes.
Sorry, what?
Jeff Gas says easy to fake.
Of course, it would be easy to fake, but this guy, his life was destroyed for what he had. Why would you go and invest your life savings trying to patent something and showing that it works, and they've tested it and they see that it works, and they still wouldn't give him the patent? Like that, I'm sorry, it's not fake. I like, you see what the hurt in his eyes and the anguish. It's horrible what they put him through.
Leave it on there for 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me just check, see what the voltage is, because I don't want to overload it.
Well, you saw he's like literally just had it on there, just touched it. Wasn't even 2, 3 seconds left.
12.21 already. It was 12.19.
And he just touched it. It wasn't a full 3 seconds.
Yes.
12.21. I'm gonna hit it again. You can see how fast that is. It'll do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
So that smoke.
It's quite interesting. I mean, something's definitely happening.
Certainly did.
That's because it's putting so much in there. Watch what it'll be. That was a little bit too much. I don't want to hurt the batteries, but it's shoving a lot of current in there. That's why all those people, when I built this in Florida, it was producing lightning.
Charles 67 has been going up.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Okay,
he's
for attention. He's dead now. Why would he be trying to get attention?
Yeah, you can't do it for attention if he's dead.
Yeah.
I don't even think we need to go with Dubai's video on, guys.
I've had enough of the bear.
Because he's just saying the same shit over and over.
Full of geek. Full of skabala.
It's crazy. What an evening. Yeah, what do you guys have to say?
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. I kind of was a bit late today, so.
That's true. Well, it's cool having you on.
Yeah.
What are you guys' closing statements for the evening?
Eric the Bear, wow. What can I say?
Yeah.
I know it's like, anyway that I've seen his stuff before, like, he walked people up to Flat Earth or whatever, like, but
that's my
I won't be passing him on to new people, put it that way.
No, like I said, like he was one of the main ones walking me up to flat earth and that as well. But when it comes to his hatred for God, it's abhorrible. You know what I mean? It's evident, without a doubt. You can see that he doesn't. He's got a grudge against God, even if he says, you know, that he hasn't. It's just how he sees things. Nah, he's got a grudge against God, no matter what. So biblically, I wouldn't take any biblical advice or spiritual advice, so to speak, from anyone. Flat Earth, fine, you know what I mean. But what goes hand in hand with flat Earth goes hand in hand with the Bible, in my opinion. So yeah, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know God, and he like I say, he hates God. Don't know why, but he hates God. Obviously,
I just find it very telling that he wants to attack God so much.
Yeah,
I mean, if he wants to,
he was hurt.
if he wants to do flat Earth, then do flat Earth. Then
yeah.
why specifically attack Christianity?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why do they have to make loads of videos? Like, you know, what if you don't believe? Well, you just keep your mouth shut and crack on with your flat Earth.
No, because the guy obviously doesn't know what Christianity is.
Surely there must be people in disagreement. You didn't look at his comments.
Oh yeah, we can do that quickly. Maybe we can just go look at his comments quickly. That can work.
Surely there's going to be some annoyed Christians in his comments.
There has to be.
Unless he just doesn't allow them to be posted.
Maybe, yeah, there is that.
Let's see.
Well, that yeah, if there's no, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say out. I've been divining intentions.
Ryan, you in twice. What the?
Am I? How am I in twice?
Yeah, okay. I took out your other one.
Sorry about that.
But let's get checked. We'll start off with 890 comments 4 hours ago from Quachaga. I still don't understand how people don't get it. Earth is actually hell.
Oh, I've heard this many times. This is actually
I've heard
hell.
that so many times. Yeah.
Wow.
And this other guy, whatever name that is.
My cousin used to say that. This is actually no.
So if Earth's hell, then what decides? Like, I mean, I look at Flat Earth with power, for instance. That's worse than my life.
Yeah.
Where's heaven?
We're struggling for power every day, and that.
I want to know. I want to know, what did I do to deserve the power outages?
Yeah.
What sin did I get?
Like, what decides what parts of this Earth's worse hell then?
Exactly. And if this is hell, then when did we get judged? I can't remember being judged.
Also, how the hell do you die in hell?
And why is the people running about with loads of money?
You
like
can't die in hell. That's why it's hell. That's why it's perpetual.
I know.
Like
Forever.
It's silly.
Yeah, next guy says purgatory, next time hell.
Oh.
Red Scotland, nonsense. Well done, Red Scotland.
He's talking about paradise.
On you go, jockey boy.
KMT, my mom told me dying uncle said this world was the hell being spoken about just before he died. Okay.
Well, maybe he was going to hell and he thought so.
I just want to know what I did in my last life to get sent here.
You didn't have a life before this, you go ahead.
No.
Crazy.
It sure feels like it many days, but I choose to see beauty too to keep my sanity and be content until we go home. He told us it would be hard, but he also told us it would be worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. It can't be hell if there are any glimpses of pleasures and joy in the realm. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
The only response to an evil world is to troll it mercilessly. Yeah. Why? Indeed, I fail to see the point of this as well. I only speak the truth, and evil people I avoid because most of them cannot be saved, and it's not my job in saving them. I have no job. I am jobless. I am free. However, I like trying to help people sometimes if they're moving to the wrong direction. But in all honesty, I don't care if people listen or not, and they have free choice to be worthless if they choose. Mm-hmm. That's actually just a troll comment on itself.
TB, he's got to believe in a creator, isn't he? I think he believes in a creator because it's flat Earth, but He doesn't believe in the God of the Bible.
He doesn't know what he believes. He just knows there is some kind of creator.
Yeah, he does believe there's a creator, but it's I don't know if he believes it's a God or whatever. I mean, because creator is not necessarily a God, is it? It's just a word, creator.
Yeah, and look at this guy, base truther. So since we live in a screwed up world, does that mean by default that the creator is evil? What is the creator? How can he possibly be perfect if he can't even make a perfect creation?
He did.
No.
He did.
Then Dubai, good question.
Oh, Josh is in the chat, Vlad.
Josh, hey, Josh, what's up, man? Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Got a scheduled a show with him on the 20th. Looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. It's good to see you, man. Josh, today's stream is a bit scary. We're looking through Eric Debate stuff now. Oh, man. But yeah, most of the comments are just agreeing with him.
I'm sorry about that.
And that's the sad thing about it. That's what I say. He's got a lot of influence on these people. And unfortunately, they're not able to just say, hang on, that's not what the Bible says.
Mm-hmm.
They just agree with him.
Well, I went over there and I made some comments. I hope you respond.
So, yeah. So we started off the show with...
There's Josh's links, guys, if anybody wants to subscribe to Josh.
Yeah, guys. Do go subscribe to Josh. He's got some awesome content. Definitely go and subscribe. It's all Christian-based stuff, so definitely very well worth it to go watch. But it's insane. So the first guy we start off with was a pastor, Allen or whatever, and he made up his own doctrine. He literally made up his own cosmology. Then we get to Ray having a putrid hatred for God, totally just saying he is a vindictive, evil,
a charlatan and a liar.
Yeah, evil God that loves. He created us just to take pleasure in pain, something like that. And then we get the perpetual motion dude. That I'm gonna check on that. That's quite cool. Awesome, Josh. Yeah, we're going to end the show now anyway. So it was good to see you. Thank you for coming. I do have work tomorrow. So, any closing thoughts? That was my closing thought, by the way.
I already get it.
Yeah, we already gave our thoughts.
Well, I didn't really because I couldn't give my closing thoughts there. But all I have to say is that Eric Debate was hurt bad by God in some way, and he blames all of his misery on him, and that's kind of sad to see. So
yeah, he does.
Yeah, we could just pray for the guy.
Yeah, that's all we can do, right? You're not going to change his mind. He's already set in his ways, as you can tell by all of like how he talks to people, right? So all we can do is pray for him, right?
Yeah, he needs God to intervene personally with him.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely.
So yeah, guys, thanks all for coming. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys then all tomorrow night for an epic stream. I think it will be a good one as well. You guys should have a good evening or day further, wherever you are, and